We ready? Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to our January Elizabethton City Schools Board meeting. We're really happy to have everybody here. Happy to have two of our Milligan grad, they're in the grad programs, Mr. Bennett and Mr. Young. I don't believe we've ever had anybody, their proposals are on our agenda, and they were kind enough to come in case you guys had any questions. Plus to get to see what could be a very short school board meeting. So don't get used to this. This never happens, but if everybody would please stand, and Dr. Gardenauer is going to lead us in a moment of silence and pledge to the flag.
Let's have our moment of silence. Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, it is time to approve the consent and regular agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Anybody have any questions or comments? All right, item on the floor, approve consent and regular agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. The next item is time for citizens to speak in accordance with Board Policy 1.404, but no one asked to be put on the agenda. So we will move on. And Mr. Minton, we'll let you do some recognitions if you don't mind.
Try to take a quick look before we came in. If let's see, Mr. Hawley, if you want to come up here for just a second, and I saw who else was here. Mr. Taylor, if you want to come up here, please, sir.
Stacy's here.
Stacy, is he here? Yep, he's back here in the back. Mr. Buckles too. Mr. Buckles. Yep. Okay, and so Tony's on his way. Oh, yeah, Nick, come on. Sorry, Nick, I missed you there. So we just want to take a few minutes, talk to Mr. Holt a little bit earlier. He's at the county commission meeting tonight. The football team's being recognized. So I was happy to say to him that some of the things that these men do for us, Mr. Briggs is on his way, who also works for WBEJ with Mr. Street, Mr. Taylor, Mr. Holly, and Nick also, all these men here who either go online or stand up or sit down, spend their time in front of a microphone, in front of a camera, or streaming online, doing the different things that they do for our sports programs, for our schools, Mr. Taylor, the things that you've done recently, just for all of our school system. We just want to take a little bit of time to thank them and extend out, just take an opportunity to tell them how much we appreciate not only their time, but just for showcasing and displaying all the great things that they do for our school system. And so we just wanted to, just take a couple of minutes here tonight and just say thank you to all of you for all the things, Tony, you too, of course, for the things that you do for our students. And if you've ever been in a situation where you've been either at a game or an event or a place where students are being highlighted or faculty is being highlighted, and in another school system, to know that we have people who will step up and do the things and say the things that they do, to recognize and do things they do for our kids like you guys have done for us. It's really special. And so for the time that they spend and the amount of return that we get for that and how our students are highlighted, we just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Well, gentlemen, on behalf of the board, thank you so much. Anytime that we're stuck at home, can't be at a ball game, it's always nice to listen. You guys do a great job, and it's fun to watch you guys too. Just turn around sometimes and watch you guys get excited. And Mr. Taylor, all the stuff you're doing with the students, that's really, really cool. They're enjoying being a part of your radio program very much. So thank you guys. Thank you. We need to get a picture. Okay, you guys get to come stand right up here or right there, wherever you want them.
would like to say one other thing that's really stellar is the fact that these folks work with all of our students in many different ways as well. Just having students intern and work with them, that makes all the difference in the world. It gives some of our kids hope that there's life beyond that. Some of our kids dream about being being on the radio, doing that. I think one of my favorite times was talking to Jason when he took this job and said, you know, I always dreamed of doing that. And now he's doing it. It's pretty awesome. So thank you all. It's a lot of time and a lot of effort, so thank you.
We're going to get one more picture. You missed, we were handing out checks. You missed that, so sorry.
City Council said we didn't have any more money.
That's right, we're right done. We want to thank you. You weren't here for us to thank you earlier. We appreciate what you guys do. You know, you just really, it makes our community proud, makes the kids proud. I know it's a ton of your time, and you guys study and you come prepared, and it's just the icing on the cake. And so thank you all very, very much. I wish we had cake for you. Maybe next time we'll get you some cake.
Maybe Chick-fil-A.
Thank you, guys. Let's see. So T.A. Duggar isn't here tonight, correct? The football team.
Chris.
Is there any other?
No, he's not.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and let you do yours, and then we'll bring up Mr. Wampler.
I want to thank our board and our city council. And if you didn't know, Mr. Simmerly, is he still out here? He is. Have worked over the last several months to try to get everyone together for us to sit down and have a discussion and talk about the needs of the school system. So I appreciate the city council, Mr. Simmerly, and the folks and Daniel Estes working closely with us to make sure that we have opportunities for our kids. So thank you for that. And board, thank you for coming this evening early for that and our budget workshop we had. I want to say excellent work and thank you, Brian Colbert and Alex Campbell have been working on a project between CTE and our VR lab. And so that has really blossomed this last month, that may have an opportunity coming with Mr. Jordan, who helped us with Labaki, to have a VR hub here in Elizabethton. And what that means for us is there's a great opportunity that we would have students be able to be trained and come back and work in the workforce with living wage jobs here. We had Rusty Barnett brought someone from Nashville this past week, to meet with us, talk about what is going on with funding and resources to help these type of opportunities. And they are in to try to help us do that and place something possibly at the Workforce Development Building and look at, Vince, placing a part of his company here. The great part about that would be that he wants to train our students to come back and run it. And so, plus work with our students currently that we have to try to train up a workforce within Elizabethton. We would love for it to be a county-wide initiative between the school systems that we would work together to fill this. And anytime that we can bring jobs to Elizabethton, it's exciting. And so we know that over the next year there's going to be a lot of training and a lot of work, but we're happy to announce that we believe that's on the forefront and going to happen here in the next coming months. I want to say thank you to Dr. Newman. She's been heading up our e-plan work. District plans have initiated and we're working on all that, so she's been coordinating that. I want to say thank you to our board for, I had a little bit of feedback on our strategic plan, and if you have questions or concerns, or you have anything you want to add to our strategic plan, please let me know. I will have a draft for you that you can take a look at, and then we can go from there. If you want to have a workshop, please let me know. We would probably have that at before the March board meeting. So if you have questions there, make sure I have those, and we'll try to add that to our plan when we take a look at it. Lastly, I would say it's been a lot to get our budget numbers together, trying to look at all the requests and those types of things. But Ms. Wilson has spent quite a bit of time getting all that together. So we thank her for her hard work and making sure we had things ready for this evening. And we're hoping to have one more workshop next month prior to the board meeting at 5:30. We'll kind of have a draft of the budget for you to look at, and then we'll take your questions if you have those. Thank you.
Mr. Wampler? Come and tell us what's happening at Harold McCormick.
All right. There's someone missing a quick board meeting.
Potentially.
I hope
They
so.
didn't know you were speaking, did they?
I might be an obstacle. Here. No, I do appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of Harold McCormick. We've had a busy first semester, and our teacher and students working diligently, focusing on academics, attendance, and building relationships through our kindergarten Make It Take It workshops, our RTI2B program, celebration of the arts, Barterby program, Girls on the Run, K-Kids, community involvement, and supportive volunteers. We would like to thank our board and our city council for working together and implementing our SRO positions in each school, but in Harold McCormick we're very much appreciative. I'm sure the other guys are as well. Officer Mosier has been an awesome fit at HME. He is active in supportive roles in our car line and arrival and dismissal, in the classrooms, and building student relationships all around the building. Officer Mosier's presence gives everyone an increased feeling of safety. Many parents and teachers have commented on their appreciation of his presence. We have replaced our entire gym sound system and curtains in the gymnasium with support from Mr. Trent and the board, Dairy Queen Spirit Night, Teacher Night, Life Touch, and our PTAC fundraisers. PTAC took care of 100% of the gym curtains, and that was much needed. And if you guys make your way by there sometime, I'm sure it'll stand out. Looks great. Ms. Cates, our instructional coach and learning leader, facilitated our 3rd annual Kindergarten Parent Make It Take It workshop. Regina led 2 workshops, one afternoon and one evening session, with an invitation to request an at-home session or a one-on-one time at the school if needed to meet the needs of our families. Parents spend about an hour and 45 minutes making games and learning to use manipulatives that cover the year-long math skills for kindergarten students. This is also a great time for parents to become acquainted with one another. Everyone left with many ready-to-use games and materials. Parents and student comments have been positive in that they have materials to use that enrich their in-school math experience at home. It's not uncommon to hear a parent in the car line tell Ms. Cates, "We played the blank game last night. Don't get too creative with filling in the blank there." This parent involvement training activity is paid for with title funds. It really has been a great thing, great activities. Our RTI2B program helps promote positive school climate and character in the building. Our school counselor, Marcia Taylor, is utilizing the core essential values curriculum and guidance class again this year. The program incorporates a monthly value word to teach toward 3 major goals each month. Treat others right, make smart decisions, and maximize your potential. Values presented this year include trust, courage, honor, joy, knowledge, creativity, forgiveness, humility, and determination. Our students really enjoy these lessons as they include video segments and guided activities to help them understand each value and its significance in real-world situations. Our students can earn B slips daily for demonstrating the character traits: respect, caring, responsibility, fairness, trustworthiness, and citizenship at school. The student's name is written on the slip, and the trait is circled describing why they earned it. The slips are placed in the beehive near the office weekly. I know it's bizarre, but it works, and we're proud of it. 6 names are drawn on Friday morning, and these character kids receive a special prize. We found this to be a great way to recognize our students for awesome behavior while developing those important character traits and life skills. We also select a student of the month. Each month, every homeroom teacher will nominate a student that exhibits the monthly focused core essential value. These students are recognized and their pictures are placed in the foyer at school. Their parents receive a letter to inform them of the special honor. This is just another way for us to focus on positive behaviors at school and encourage our students to become engaged, responsible, and productive citizens. Our fourth and fifth graders participate in the walk-in classroom once a month in guidance class. Students improve their physical, mental, and academic health as they walk, listen, and learn. Students walk and listen to a 20-minute podcast with a kid-friendly content aligned with academic standard in language, arts, science, and social studies. Each podcast also teaches a character value such as honesty, respect, integrity, or perseverance, which Ms. Taylor emphasizes as part of her counseling program. Our students enjoy walking outside or inside, depending on the weather. They return from their walks in better moods, more focused, and engaged in post-walk discussions about the subject matter at character value. Hurricane Way celebrations are a large part of our RTI2B program. Students demonstrating our behavior expectations attend the Just Be Awesome reward time where they will participate in celebrations. Students that do not attend the reward time may stay with a teacher to do makeup work or other functions. These students also participate in an intervention conference with the principal, assistant principal, or school counselor about their behavior and how to make better choices in the future. The Hurricane Way has improved school climate at HME. Our data indicates much improvement in behaviors from the beginning of this year through Christmas break. Celebration of the Arts Week highlights selected related arts classes in order to stress the importance of these subjects in relation to the academic subjects and real-life experiences. Our second and third graders at Harold McCormick participated in Celebration of the Arts and presented patriotic music and created artwork that celebrated America. Veterans were honored in a slideshow presentation as the students sang God Bless the USA. Students and faculty members brought in pictures of family members who have served or are currently serving in our nation's military for the slideshow. Veterans in attendance were recognized during the Armed Forces Medley, where the audience sang along to honor each branch of service. Veterans also joined our students for lunch during that week, and lunch was provided by Rick Walters with Horseman Insurance. Our fourth and fifth graders presented Snow Biz. The musical entertained the audience with skiers, skaters, ice fishermen, and more. A highlight of the show was a crowd favorite finale number, Tennessee Christmas. The fourth graders were able to sing the song for the Tom Taylor Show. They also sang their portion of the musical for the Rotary Club. K-Kids, sponsored by Amy Tapp, Marsha Taylor, and Sean Julian, have been busy in our community. They participated in a fundraiser at Pizza Hut, collected over 700 cans of food for Hell's Community Ministry. In December, they made and delivered Christmas cards, candy canes, and rang in some Christmas cheer by singing Christmas carols at Ivy Hall Nursing Home and Hermitage Healthcare. Girls on the Run, sponsored by Kelly Stanberry, learn how to combat bullying, build solid friendships, have positive attitudes, and learn how to connect with others. Students made stress balls for patients and thank you cards for employees at the Niswonger Children's Therapy Center as a community service project. They also participated in the 5K that was held at Thomas Stadium in Johnson City. Second grade collected food, toys, blankets, and cleaning supplies for our local animal shelter. Our fifth grade students enjoyed their time at Camp Explorer with hands-on activities including wildlife, woodworking, marksmanship, a rope course, and canoeing. They also participated in a service project by giving back to our community. Instead of exchanging gifts in the classrooms, our students donated new stuffed animals, pajamas, sweatpants, tops, etc. to the Niswonger Children's Hospital. Our students have enjoyed working with Susanna Digby and Camille and Audrey Landstreet through the Bartleby Enrichment Projects. Our first grade students had the opportunity to enjoy a read-along about Davy Crockett. They made their own coonskin cap and wrote facts on the inside of their cap, citing evidence from their text. Bartleby students have shared valuable information in ELA and math with our fifth grade students. They also shared information about the medical profession and worked on STEM projects. Miss Susan Peters, a former Elizabethton school board member, volunteers her time reading and working with small groups with our first and second grade students. This semester we also included Poetry in Motion. Vivian Johnson, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Vivian Johnson and what she has to offer our students at Harold McCormick. Nationally board certified, former ELA teacher at TED, comes to HME 1 day per week. Ms. Johnson visits each classroom for 10 to 12 minutes during the intervention block and shares her love of poetry. Students enjoy their time with Ms. Johnson. Her enthusiasm for the spoken and written language is contagious. Students' vocabulary and understanding of the spoken language is enriched by poetry time. We would like to thank our students, parents, and community for collecting just over $11,000 during our Color Run fundraiser. A special thank you to our PTAC for organizing the Color Run, ordering supplies, participating in the Color Run, and preparing the various rewards for student accomplishments. Students were rewarded for working hard to support our school through fundraising. So,
Not much happening at Harold McCormick?
I don't know. I know I went over. We have a running joke where after 2 minutes, I'm sure I went over. I've got to thank Miss Nave and Miss Cates for doing a lot of legwork on putting this together. We've been focused on
That's great.
other things this week.
Inventory.
I didn't want to say it. I know Carrie probably thinks I've been a little grouchy this week. Here, getting it done. But thanks again for having me, and we do appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's look at the at 2 items on the agenda tonight. First one is approval of engagement letter from Blackburn Children's and Stegall PLC for the June 30, 2020 audits of the internal activity funds and the Board of Education. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on this? All righty. Item on the floor, approval of engagement letters from Blackburn Children's and Stegall PLC for June 30, 2020 audits of the internal activity funds and Board of Education. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Next item. Authorization for the Director of Schools to draft a resolution to City Council to refinance school bonds and to use the proceeds from the half-cent sales tax in an amount not to exceed $1.2 million for the renovation projects at T.A. Duggar Junior High School. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
You'll be authorizing me to send a letter to the city council stating that we would like to utilize that in that amount. And then what we will do is have that come from the board chair. I'll draft it and then have the board chair sign it. And that will give them the go-ahead to put it on their agenda for the February meeting and be able to vote on that.
Well, we had lots of time to talk, ask questions. You guys, thoughts, questions, comments?
Once they vote on that at their meeting, that'll set things in motion for us to
It will.
turn Mr. Weems loose to possibly go out for bids.
Once they vote on that, what they will do is take the money to the bond market and see how we do in the bond market. May perform better, than we anticipate. That's what happened when they refinanced the electric system. And we'll see how it goes, and then we'll know the amount of money we'll have. We definitely think that 1.2 will be around the number that we'll receive, maybe a little better. And then we will try to work on those projects. One of the things that City Council brought up was, let's go ahead, bid the roof, see what happens. So I think the way that we would do it at that point, once we knew that we had the money, is we would bid it in 2 sections separately, even though it would be the same bid. One contractor, if they had that type of ability, they could bid on everything if they wanted to, but they would bid on 2 separate jobs, and then see how it goes from there, and see if we had enough to do the 2 projects with the money we had. Now keep in mind, if we came close, once we looked at the bids, we always could use a little bit of our half-cent sales tax money that's currently there. Let's say that we were short $20,000 to do both projects. I think that would be prudent, and based on the conversation, I can't speak for Mr. Simmerly, but we would be pretty close to be able to do that and move forward to finish that work.
Well, I know we had hoped that we would be able to take out the bond to actually, do the renovation, but I appreciate the city kind of saying we can't do that now, but we can do this, and obviously, based on Tom's findings, this has to be done, so, may not be exactly what we wanted, but it may be what we need, so.
Right.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. Item on the floor, authorization for the Director of Schools to draft a resolution to City Council to refinance school bonds and to use the proceeds from the half-cent sales tax in an amount not to exceed $1.2 million for the renovation projects at T.A. Duggar Junior High School. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next board meeting, I'm thinking February 18th, 5:30 to start with the budget workshop. Regular meeting at 6:30. Thank you all very much. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. And have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.